Alright, what is up, you guys? Okay, this is going to be a instructional video on how to properly cut limes and lemons. Okay, so as far as I know, as a bartender, there are actually two methods that you do want to use and be proficient in when cutting limes and lemons, or any other fruit, really, oranges, pineapples, furthermore. So I'm going to show you guys the normal way that people do cut limes and lemons for a bar. So, let's go ahead and grab our first lime and lemon. Okay, you guys, so first I'm going to show you cutting a lemon the normal way with a serrated knife, okay? And these knives are very standard, exist in a lot of establishments, and are a preference among bartenders when cutting massive amounts of limes or lemons, and it's for a reason, okay? First of all, this knife is not sharp on the blade, so in the event that you do cut your hand, it may hurt with the serration, but you're going to probably stop yourself due to the being uncomfortable, and you won't slice your hand in the same way that you would with a dagger, okay? So, first, when you do cut a lime, the first thing you're going to do is put it on its side horizontal so that you can slice off both the tips, okay? So, let's go ahead and do that here. And notice how I'm holding the lime with my hand extended straight out. And we're going to just spin it around and cut off the other side. Then we'll flip it vertical. And we're going to go ahead and do the same thing and put these ends down. Okay, and then depending on your establishment, you would cut these into either thirds or halves. Okay, to divide the lime into either 6 pieces or 4. Quarters or sixths, right? Okay, and then I did actually forget about cutting the slit into it so that we could garnish it properly, right? So that is actually the wrong way to cut it. Okay. Let's go ahead and cut into one more this way. Okay. And we're going to go ahead and go vertically down. And then actually when you have it like this, you will want to cut a slit into it, right? Okay. And then you go ahead and flip it over. Okay. And then you can either cut it into thirds, or you can cut them straight down the middle to do quarters, okay? So this would be the proper way, one proper way to cut a lime for an establishment, okay? Now, we are going to go ahead and show you the other technique for cutting a lime or a lemon, okay? Now, this one is important for every barback and bartender to know. For certain reasons. It is a variation on what we just did, and it all matters how you hold the fruit with your other hand, your non-dominant hand. Okay, so normally when people grab a lime, alright, they would do exactly what I did, where they use their hands and they put it over the lime and try not to get cut, right? There is another way to approach grabbing a lime, which invokes more safety for the barback or bartender, and it looks like this, okay? You take your hand, and you look like you make a pincher grip, okay? And then that is how you hold the lime, okay? And the reason that you do it this way, okay, is so that when you are cutting fast and you are prepping massive amounts of limes and lemons, actually what happens is the blade will no longer threaten your fingers laying straight out, okay? So that's the problem for any bartender or barback, is that you will actually slice your hand when you have your hand like this. Now, if you grab the lime or lemon with a pincher grip, more of the slices that would have cut your hand actually just glance off of your hand due to the angle that you have. So I'm going to show you guys. I'm very experienced in this, so this is actually very hard for people who are new to this grip to be able to do. And I'm going to show you what it looks like when a professional does it this way. Okay, this last slice, you do not have to grab a pincher grip. Okay, but as you can see, I have actually fully cut this lime, not exposing my fingers and my hands, mostly the length of the finger, to being sliced by the knife, okay? And I'm going to show you guys one more with the second variation on how to do this, okay? So, yeah, you just go like this, and then once you get good at this, you're very good at spinning the limes around, okay? Yes, this is fully with the pincher grip. And then we're going to go ahead and just put the slice in so that we can garnish our drinks and cut it into thirds. Yeah, that last one, maybe you will not use a pincher grip. You would actually just put it in between your hand and you can do it. Okay, so those are the two main ways to cut fruit. Okay, so there's the pincher grip style, and there is the regular grabbing with your hand. With both of them with the non-dominant hand. So when you switch styles of cutting, you actually do switch the non-dominant hand. So I just want you guys to know that I think that knowing the second way to grab a lime and a lemon is actually important for any professional bartender or barback working their way through their career. You know, if for somebody that has been bartending for 25 years, 30 years, okay, I may not actually advise learning the second way to safely cut limes and lemons if you haven't already. And the reason is that if you're already very used to cutting limes and lemons in a certain way, meaning you have multiple decades doing this a certain way, or at least a decade, okay, then I think it would be actually perhaps dangerous for you to learn the other way of doing it, since you're so used with the muscle memory of slicing around your hands and not cutting your hands. I would actually think that for an ultra experienced bartender or barback, you may not want to switch. But if you are earlier on in your career, meaning you've only been barbacking and bartending from 1 to 5 years, maybe 1 to 7 years, absolutely add this second way of cutting limes and lemons with the pincher grip to your repertoire. It is way safer, okay, and it has stopped me from getting sliced many times. Okay? So thank you guys for tuning in to this brief lesson on how to cut limes and lemons. It's important, okay, to be able to do it safely, since you do cut so many, okay. You know, normally during the beginning of every shift, you're cutting, you know, at least 50 limes and lemons, right? Okay, or at least 50 limes. Lemons normally less, right? So, okay, guys. So, well, thank you for tuning in, and we will make sure to keep the fresh insights coming, the helpful tips, the helpful videos. We've got a lot more planned for you guys, even just today. So, thank you.